Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Jugmaster3, and today's going to be a little bit of a special type of video, you could say, because in this video I'm going to go through all of my disturbing movies in my collection, which basically means this entire shelf right here. So obviously I'm making this video with my iPad, so I am pretty much going to display each and every single film. So it could be a little bit laggy and like really glitchy from time to time. I don't really know how this is going to turn out to be in all honesty, but and obviously these are probably not all of my disturbing movies. This is basically like the ones that I put in the disturbing movies section of the video, you could say. So I'm probably missing out on some of these movies in general, to be honest, but these are at least the majority of disturbing movies in my collection. And when it comes to disturbing movies, some movies are disturbing to some, and some people would just say, well, that's not disturbing at all. So it really depends on what type of person you are, like how much you're into this type of genre in general. So just keep that in mind before I start this video. So yeah, let's begin right away. So first up, we have Takashi Miike's Audition. Really entertaining film altogether. I mean, wouldn't say, let's say if I could say like entertaining, but it's a very fascinating film. So this is definitely one of his best films in my personal opinion. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And also, before I continue with this video, I'm just gonna say that I don't think I can show the back or like the front of every single DVD because some of them are probably has like nudity or something like that on the front cover. So that's the reason why. And then we have Takashi Miike's H the Killer, which I think this specific release is pretty fun because it has so many like warnings and whatnot here on the front cover. The warning takes up like at least like 50% of the front cover, which is really charming in a way. Which basically says like, oh, this is the uncut original version. It's forbidden in numerous of countries. We just want to warn for extreme violence or like scenes that can be like seen as shocking even for like hardcore viewers. So pretty much think about your decision before watching this film. That's pretty much what it says here on the front, but in Swedish. So yeah, also really entertaining film altogether. So yeah, H the Killer. So the next one, I'm not sure if I can show the front cover. I probably glimpsed it there a little bit still, but Visitor Q by Takashi Miike. Really messed up film, but also like has really dark humor in it as well, which is kind of interesting. And we have this next film, which I haven't seen yet, to be honest, but the life and death of a gang. I'm not really sure if I can even say that word. So this is another Serbian film which came out around the same time as a Serbian film. So like I said, I've never seen this one before. I know for sure that I can't show the back of this, so yeah, you'll have to deal with that. Then we have this one. This is fairly new in my collection as well. This is actually like a limited edition thing, I believe. Creepy Hide and Seek, which I think is directed by the same guy who directed Squirmfest and Terrible Meal. So if you've seen any of those films, you probably know what this is gonna be all about, because both of those films are really messed up. I'm not really sure if this is like a similar thing, but I mean, if it is similar to that, this is gonna be really messed up. And also based on the front cover, it looks really disturbing. So yeah. So we have lots of Japanese films apparently in this section, or like in this disturbing movies thing. But next one is Grotesque, which I think is a pretty messed up film altogether. I mean, I would say, like it said here on the front cover, Hostel was just like The Vacation in comparison, which I do agree with. This is really messed up. I just gonna keep repeating myself over and over again. I watched this film quite a while ago. I know I'd never made like a review video of this like ages ago, but that review wasn't very good. But if you're into Japanese extreme cinema in general, I can definitely recommend this one. So yeah. Then we have this box set, the Guinea Pig box set, which includes these films right here. I'm not really sure if you can see it, if I can do it right there. Devil's Experiment, Android and Notre Dame, Flower of Flesh and Blood, Mermaid and Manhole, He Never Dies, Devil Doctor Woman, and Guinea Pig's Greatest Cuts, which I believe is like a documentary about the making of these films. The second one is obviously infamous for being the film that Charlie Sheen thought was a legit snuff film. So he reported it to the FBI, and the filmmakers actually had to convince the FBI like a movement or whatever that this was just like a work of fiction basically. So yeah. Then we have this box set. I'm not really sure if I can show you this just based on the images here on the front, but Traces of Death box set. This is actually the second box set I have of these films, and then you might ask yourself, why do you have like another box set of this series? It's basically because I think this one has other cuts to it, or like other like special features to it than the Brain Damage release. And I believe this one is very hard to come across these days as well. Obviously, this is like a shockumentary, so this is definitely not for everyone. I would say only watch this if you're really, really into like those type of mixtape things in general, because this is really like the predecessor of mixtapes in general, I would say. Um, this still has its value, though, I would say. It's weird to say it has its value because this is basically like shocking footage over and over and over again. But it still has some sort of narrative to it, at least the first one. The other four are basically like the same thing, but shoved. I have lots of like death and black metal music to it. Um, and yeah, I mean, I believe someone actually said that when they watched the first Traces of Death film, that they liked to watch that while listening to death metal, and I think that's the reason why they decided to put in that type of music in the sequels. But I'm not really sure if that's a rumor or not. So yeah. Then we have another box set which is very rare to come across. This is the Devil. What's it called? The Devil Pictures, or whatever it's called. Devil Pictures, yeah, release. This is, I believe, it's like a really old German release of these films. This one also comes with like a really big poster and a T-shirt, I believe, but I'm actually too. I think I'm too fat to actually fit into that T-shirt, so I really need to lose weight before I'm actually gonna be able to wear it. But yeah, like you can see here, limited edition to only 3,000 copies. So yeah, it's basically the same like content, except for like you have like a poster and like other like lots of special features in this one, more so than the other box sets. So yeah. And this box set I think I've showed you before. This is the Brain Damage release of the films. And I remember I bought this back in the day, and I thought it was a really good price when I bought it, and now I think it's really, really tricky to go across. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's just another box set of the Traces of Death. I believe the other box set I showed before is an older release, so yeah. And then we have this box set, the Faces of Death box set, which includes, I believe, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not sure if there's actually an official part 5 or not. It says +2 bonus programs, so I'm not really sure what that is all about because I've yet to dig into this box set. But I've seen all of these 4 films in general, and they're basically more like a tame version of Traces of Death, because Traces of Death is just like a 100% real footage, I believe, and this one obviously has lots of like fake footage or like reenactments or whatever. So the first one is actually a quite fascinating film. It's basically about death in general, like the whole subject of death and the passing and all that. I mean, it's a really messed up type of shockumentary. One of the first ones, I would say. I mean, some people would probably say this is more like a Mondo type of film in general. So, but I mean, first one obviously the best one. Second one and third and fourth, they're kind of like silly in all honesty, and there's some really like many like recycled footage as well. So that's a little bit lazy, but yeah. It's released by Gorgon as well, so Gorgon Video, so yeah. Then we have this box set, the Men Behind the Sun box set, which includes all 4 films. First one, obviously the best one. Second and third one, shockingly, was directed by none other than Godfrey Ho, who's probably most famous for directing all of those ninja films back in the day. Part 4 is also directed by the same guy who made the first one. But these are based on true events that happened during the Second World War. Unit 731, if you're familiar with that. This is another like limited edition, which includes 40 collector cards as well. Let's see if I can show you the back of this. I'm just going to double check. I'm not sure. I think there shouldn't be a problem, but yeah, that's how it looks on the back. Pretty simple, but you can see here, limited to 1,500 copies, and I got my number 1,248. So let's see. Yeah, here we have it. Real pleased with this box set. And then we have this box set of Angel Guts, which I think I have showed you in some of my previous like update videos. These are pretty much like Pinku films. I'm not too familiar with that genre in general. I used to assume it's like really like violent and sleazy type of films in general from Japan. I have yet to watch any of these, so obviously since I haven't watched any of these, some of you might say, well, how can you put this in the disturbing movies list or like in your section of disturbing movies? That's just what I've heard. I mean, sometimes I just kind of like research these things on like online, like how often some of these films pop up on like disturbing movie lists and whatever. So But yeah, anyway, the Angel Guts films. And we have another version of Men Behind the Sun. I believe this is another reason why I picked this one up is because I think one of the versions only have the English dub on it, and the other one has the official language, like Cantonese or Chinese language into it. So that is the main reason why I decided to pick this one up. I'm gonna check this on the back if I can show you that. Yeah, that's how it looks on the back. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to show you every single, I can't show you every single move in detail because otherwise we'll be here for like 3 hours. So, yeah. Then we have another edition of Men by the Sun 2. Really like this cover art, really grim and gruesome, but really cool cover art. Then we have Narrow Escape, Men by the Sun 3. Which I think is the weakest one. I mean, this just felt like a real long slog to me, in all honesty. So, yeah. And then we have Black Sun, the Nanking Massacre right here. Which, yeah, other than the first one, this is probably the best one. I have a soft spot for part 2 as well, in a way, but part 3 is just like really, really garbage in my personal opinion. So, yeah. Then we have this one, Ichi 1, which is basically like a prequel to the first Ichi the Killer film, I believe, which I unfortunately haven't seen yet. So it's going to be lots of films that I haven't seen popping up on this in this video as well. I'm not sure if I can show you that, but Anatomy of Hell, some sort of like extreme film. It actually says there this film contains some scenes which may offend, so that's the reason why I decided to put it in the disturbing movies lists. Then we have some. These are actually the following, let's see, like 3 titles or so are actually bootlegs, but these films have never been released officially outside of Japan, so I think that's the main reason why. We have Concrete, which I have yet to see. It's about the Junko Furuta case, and if you've read anything about that, it's just really messed up and it's just really, really messed up. So yeah, be warned about that if you check out the information about that. And then we have this one, which is probably the most vile out of them all that I've seen so far, but Juvenile Crime. Yeah, just really messed up, in all honesty. I keep repeating myself over and over again, but that's just what happens sometimes. Then we have the movie called Celluloid Nightmares, which is also known as Musan-E. This almost like it's a very, very sleazy and gritty film. I think it's very, very like creepy and kind of like interesting up until the very end. That kind of like ruins the entire experience for me. But other than that, it's a really messed up film, and I can recommend it to people that don't get bothered with sleaze and like horrors and stuff. I mean, it's weird to really like describe this film in all honesty, but yeah. And then we have, let's see, what's this one called? It's called Psychic Vision Yaganare. Right here. Very short film from like the late 80s, which I haven't seen yet, but yeah, I've yet to see it. It looks very interesting though. Then we have some Mondo films. Let's see if I can show you that. I'm not sure if I can show you that on the right up there, but Off the Dead from the, I believe this is like from the 60s or the 70s. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, yet to see that one. And then we have, I think I can show that, Kwaheri, which I think is one of the great graphic documentaries. So yeah, pretty much like a Mondo or like shockumentary type film as well. So yeah. And then we have this one called Mondo Magic. All 3 of these I've yet to see, like the ones that are released by the same company. So yeah. And then we have Ebola Syndrome with Anthony Wong. Really messed up premise. I think that's really why I decided to put this in the disturbing movie list, or like the section of this my collection. So, but I mean, in general, it's still a pretty entertaining film just because of the really weird and really, really, really dark humor to it. Let's see here. Then we have, let's see, I might as well show you this one before. But we have The Untold Story, another one with Anthony Wong. He actually pops up in lots of these really messed up films, apparently. Yeah, I think I talked about this one in my 90s series, or like in my 90s favorite horror films. This is actually based on true events as well, like inspired by true events, basically. So, yeah, Untold Story. And then we have The Untold Story 2, or Part 2. I believe there's a part 3 as well, but I've never seen that for sale anywhere, so I'm not really sure if that was ever released anywhere. But yet to see the part 2 yet though, so yeah. Then we have the Swedish classic exploitation film called Thriller, They Call Her One Eye. This is also known as Thriller, A Cruel Picture. Now this is the Vengeance edition, so this is slightly cut, I've been told, which is a little bit unfortunate, but if you don't want that release of the film, then you should pick up this release of the film, which is the fully uncut version, which has the eyeball scene. I mean, when this happens, if you know what that is all about, it's really infamous, that story altogether. So I'm just gonna let you research that for yourself if you want to know more about that. But I believe this has also been released by like on Blu-ray and at this point. So I'm not too I'm not that type of person that really likes to like upgrade films unless they are like completely uncut or like there are like really lots and lots of special features, or I'm like a big fan of the film. But yeah, Thriller, A Cruel Picture. And then we have Kodoku, the Meatball Machine, and the original film Meatball Machine, Japanese film. And oh my god, I'm just really tired right now. Anyway, I've never seen any of these films, so if you have seen any of these films, please let me know and what you think about them. So yeah. And then we have the movie called Viva la Muerte. I'm probably butchered the title, but yeah, another one that I have yet to see. So yeah. And then we have Cannibal Ferox, which I at one point actually preferred over Cannibal Holocaust, in all honesty. But this one is still, I mean, this is pretty much just like Umberto Lenzi trying to cash in on the craze of the Cannibal Holocaust, basically. Even though Umberto Lenzi already made like one of the first ones called Man from Deep River like years before. This one is still good though, so yeah, Cannibal Ferox. And then we have none other than the infamous Cannibal Holocaust by Ruggero Deodato. Yeah, this movie has been talked to death online in general, so I'm not going to say anything else about it. But yeah, Cannibal Holocaust, it's a very special type of film. And then we have a movie that I'm almost afraid to watch at this point, but Threads, which is a British film, and it's basically about nuclear assault, basically. I mean, not nuclear assault as the band, but you get what I mean. Yeah, this seems really disturbing to me, just because it feels like that this could actually happen at any point or like at any time. So yeah, Threads. And then we have one of the most bloody and gory films of all time. No, it's not Brain Dead or Dead Alive. It is the movie called Adam Chaplin, the Italian film. This almost feels like the Italian version of Ricky O in a way. If you've seen Ricky O or Ricky, what's it called? Ricky 1? Ricky O? Yeah, you probably know what movie I'm referring to, but it feels like the Italian version of that. But yeah, one of the most bloody and gory films that I've ever seen. So yeah, keep that in mind. Then we have this one, Thundercrack, which I have never seen before. And apparently it's a very sleazy and very odd film altogether. Quite got a hold of this quite recently, so that's the reason why I haven't watched it yet. So yeah. And then we have what's his name? Clark. What is his name? I'm completely blacking out now. Larry Clark. Larry Clark's movie called Bully, which I still think is his best film to date. Some people say that he comes across like a complete like perv in general, like a really creep. But I mean, his film though, this film called Bully is actually really good. It's based on true events as well, and obviously it's not for everybody, but I think this is definitely one of his best films that he's directed. So yeah. And then we have his film called Kids. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but it's basically about these like really like hooligan type of kids doing like absolutely nothing with their life and just wasting air, basically. I mean, it's weird to say that, but yeah, really creepy and kind of messed up film, just based on the fact that this could happen in real life. And it actually feels like, I think there was even like actors in this film that actually passed away just a couple of years later based on like substances or like substance abuse, if you can say that. So that's really sad. But yeah, Kids. Written by Harmony Korine. And speaking of Harmony Korine, the next movie is a film that he directed called Gummo. I watched this like once or twice, and I have absolutely still no idea what this is all about. It's really one of a kind type of film. It's really creepy. I really don't like the the scenes with like the cats and whatnot. I just hate that. But other than that, it's a very fascinating film, and it's very hard to describe for someone that hasn't seen it yet. So anyway, watch at your own risk. Same could be said about the next film called Stoic by Uwe Boll. And I just don't understand why people keep saying that Uwe Boll is the worst director of all time. I'm like, have you ever seen like a film at all? Also another one which is based on a true story. Actually, one of his best films in all honesty. So yeah, Stoic with Edward Furlong, believe it or not. And then we have his film called Seed. This one I would say is ruined by some really terrible CGI from time to time, but other than that, it's a very messed up film, especially the first like minutes or so, which shows you real footage of something. I'm not going to show what it is, but for those of you who have seen it, you know what it's all about. It involves animals. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, that's just stupid, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's see here. Then we have okay, I'm not sure we can show that, but Necromantic by Jörg Buttgereit. Yeah, this is a film that was really just made because he was tired of censorship and stuff in Germany back in the day, and he kind of made this film to really piss off like the censors in Germany at the time. So this is a film which I've seen once or twice. I'm not too big of a fan of this one. I actually prefer his film called Der Tod ist King and Schramm over this one, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, Necromantic. Let's see here. Then we have his movie called Necromantic 2, and this is, in my personal opinion, his worst film. This I don't think he even wanted to make this film, in all honesty. There's like actually like a scene which takes forever where this lady like just digs a hole in the ground for like ages. Yeah, I mean, I do like the ending, which is just absolutely crazy, but other than that, it's not that much. I mean, it's not so much fun to watch in general. So yeah. This one, I'm not really sure I'm gonna show you this or not, because I need to censor the front cover in some weird way. Let's see if I can do it like this. Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom by Pasolini, Pier Paolo Pasolini. This is another one which has been discussed so many times on YouTube, so I'm not going to say anything else, but yeah, just don't eat chocolate pudding while watching this film. That's all I'm going to say. And then we have Snuff 102. Kind of overhyped, in all honesty. It is messed up, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see like the whole hype to this film. So yeah, Snuff 102. And then we have the 70s classic called Mark of the Devil. And it does say uncut or and uncensored, but I'm not really sure if that's actually true or not when it comes to this specific release. But actually a really interesting film about like witch burnings and stuff back in the, is it like the 17th, whatever. It's like back in the day when they burned witches, basically. I'm just going to say that. But positively the most horrifying film ever made. I don't agree with that, but it is still a messed up film, but it's actually a pretty good film also. Then we have Andrei Iskanov's Nails. This is more like an experimental type of film, in all honesty. Not the best, not the worst. It is what it is. This one also includes the unique soundtrack CD, which I haven't listened to yet, so need to do that. And then, speaking of Andrei Iskanov, then we have Philosophy of a Knife. And this, I believe, is a really, really rare edition as well. It's like a 3-disc limited special edition. I think this was sold out right away, I believe, right after I bought it. So I think this is really hard to come across. I have yet to watch this, and then you might ask yourself, why haven't you watched it yet? It's about like 4 or 5 hours long, and I've not heard too many good things about it. It's basically about the same story like the about Unit 731. So I just want to rewatch Men Behind the Sun instead of watching this film, basically. But yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna watch it at some point. So yeah, just to see what that's all about. And then we have this one, Basse-moi. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. Yeah, I have yet to see this one as well. I believe it's a French film, so yeah, it's based on the title right there. So yeah. Then we have this film, Dr. Lamb, which I have yet to watch. Hong Kong Cat 3 film, or Category 3 film. which I've heard is supposed to be pretty messed up. I mean, apparently this has a really stupid humor in it as well, so yeah. Then we have Evil Dead Trap, which I thought was quite decent for what it was. Once again, another Japanese film. And then we have Evil Dead Trap 2, which I did not like at all. But then again, I've only seen it once, so I might actually need to rewatch it. So, yeah. And then we have 964 Pinocchio, which is a really fascinating cyberpunk type of film. It actually says there on the front right here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but Japanese cyberpunk collection. Seen it like twice, and it's just a very cool film altogether, but very like messed up as well. But if you do like movies like Tetsuo the Iron Man, you might enjoy this one as well. So yeah, 964 Pinocchio. Then we have a movie called Tokyo Psycho, which I really like this front cover. I've not seen it yet though, so I really need to check it out. Yeah. Another one which I haven't seen yet, Kishiku, Banquet of the Beasts, uncut version. Yeah, I believe I also have this on VHS, believe it or not, but yeah, whatever. Then we have this one, infamous one, Women's Flesh, My Red Guts by Tamakachi Anaru, I believe. A film that I really want to get a hold of his is a film called The Dolls, Psycho Dolls, what is it called? I think you probably know what one I'm referring to if you're into this genre, but yeah, this one is just like pretty much like a torture-esque film, just very short as well. It's only like 45 minutes or so, I believe. So, and I think I can't show the back of that one, no. And then we have the infamous one, directed by the same guy, Tumbling Doll of Flesh, also known as Niku Daruma. It's just so sad about what happened with this actress. If this is true or not, this is just so sad because the main actress in the film apparently unalived herself, you can say, because I'm not sure if you can say that other word on YouTube anymore. But yeah, if that's true, that's just really, really sad. I mean, there's been rumors like throughout so many years now about this. This is pretty much similar to those other like messed up films, but it turns out to be the first like half of the film is like a almost like an adult video in a way, and then just goes absolutely berserk towards the end. One of the most messed up films that I've ever watched, in all honesty. So yeah, Tumbling Doll of Flesh, also known as Niku Daruma. And then we have this one. Not sure if I can show that. Eat the Schoolgirl. Very messed up film once again. I mean, I keep repeating myself over and over again, but it's a film, all right. That's all I'm gonna say. Then we have this one, and this one actually doesn't even have like a title on the front cover, but it is, I'm not sure if I can show this on the spine right here, but Mei-chan's Daily Life, the movie. The premise is what is the most messed up thing about this one, like just the fact that this girl keeps like reliving this nightmare over and over and over again. But yeah, it's a messed up film, and if you do like some of those Japanese ones, go check this one out. Then we have this one, Mondo, like shockumentary type film called The Killing of America, which I would say is one of the best one of its kind, I must say. Very well put together, shocking stories and whatnot. Yeah, I really like the narration bit in this movie as well. So yeah, The Killing of America. And I actually have another release of this one. This is an Australian release. The reason why is because I believe the other version was like cut in some way. Yeah, and this one actually says uncut on the front cover. So yeah. And then we go back to the shockumentaries, shall we? This one, Faces of Gore. The worst part about this one is the narration. The narration just absolutely obliterate. Yeah, you know that word. He just destroys his entire film. He is so annoying. I mean, he's one of the most annoying narrators I've ever heard. And this is just basically like Traces of Death, and just not as good, and just really, really messed up, in all honesty. Shockumentary, yeah. It's vile, all right. And then, second one, sort of the same thing. I believe there's like a part 3 and 4 as well, but in all honesty, if it's the same guy who's narrating these films, I'm not interested in one bit about these films, so yeah. Then we have this one, another type of like shockumentary type thing, Executions. I mean, I don't care too much about that one. And then we have another release of the first Faces of Death, which is like a 30th anniversary edition. It says here banned in over 40 countries. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but yeah, we already talked about that one. And then we have this one, which I have yet to watch. Orozco the Embalmer, released by Massacre Video. It's basically about this embalmer going around. I mean, I'm not going to talk about every single title in this because I'm going to be here for like ages. Then we have this one, another film by the same guy, Junk Films. He's sort of like a death photographer. I think that's what you could call him. So yeah, Junk Films. And then we have more shockumentary type things. Shocking Asia 1 and 2. I believe this is part 3 as well, but yeah, I have yet to watch these. And then we have a Korean horror film, which I think is pretty cool. Its concept is quite fascinating, but it is The Butcher. Really like the front cover as well, because this does happen in the film, which I think is really cool. Yeah, The Butcher. And then we have Naked Blood, also known as Splatter Naked Blood. Let's see if I can show you the back of this. It's probably too vile for me to actually show you the back of this one, but yeah, fascinating. Pretty fascinating actually. So yeah. Then we have this one, which I picked up like ages ago and I have yet to watch it actually. So, Organ. Yeah, it is what it is. I haven't seen it yet. Then we have these three. I actually already had these movies in other like releases before, but the reason why I double dipped on these were because I really appreciated these cover arts more than the other ones I had before. So first up we have All Night Long, the first one. Then we have All Night Long, the second one. And then we have All Night Long, the third one. And I believe these movies are... I think there's actually like part 3, 4, and 5 as well, but they're like really weird titles. I'm not really sure if they're connected to one another. In all honesty, they are pretty much like standalone type of films altogether in general, so yeah. And then we have a movie directed by Mario Andorra. I think this is probably one of his best movies, in all honesty. But I do not like the director and what he's doing. And I mean, I've seen some of his newer films and they are so wild to the point that I'm just really fed up with his director, in all honesty. But anyway, Voyage to Agatis is probably one of his best movies. So, yeah. And then we have his movie called Cannibal, which was based on that true case, which I think involved Armin Meus or whatever his name is. Yeah, warning, this film contains graphic violence. This is, yeah. If you know Marandora, you know you're in for some really messed up things. So those are some of the most messed up films that I've ever seen, so yeah. Then we have this one, Aftermath and Genesis. Some people always say like, oh, I've seen Aftermath and Genesis, but I mean, Aftermath is one movie and the other, like Genesis is another film, but I think Aftermath is the one that is the one that most people talk about. Yeah, it's basically like about an autopsy, and this guy is going absolutely nuts upon this corpse. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that. Then we have a movie by Lucifer Valentine, called Black Metal Veins. This is probably his most coherent film, you could say. But yeah, this guy, if this is true or not, what he's been doing, I'm just really, really disgusted by his actions, in all honesty. And to be fair, some of these films just feels like it's his own type of fetish movies. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, Black Metal Veins, it is what it is. And then just because of that, I also had like these other ones, Slaughtered, Vomitals. Yeah, that is what it is. And then we have Regurgitated Sacrifice. This is probably the most a messed up movie in this entire trilogy. So yeah, I mean, it's not even like a trilogy anymore because they made like a part 4 and that was just horrendous. Then we have this one, Slow Torture Puke Chamber. Yeah, you know what you're going into with these films. It's just really messed up. Then we have this one, Bouquet, American Guinea Pig, Bouquet of Guts and Gore. I've seen this one once and I was just really, really let down. I do prefer the older like Japanese movies, in all honesty. And it just feels like it was overhyped for its own good. I'm not really sure what this... I mean, it just felt too... it was just something weird about this film. I just didn't get into this one at all. So yeah. Then we have this one, All Night Long, the other release I was talking about before. I'm gonna speed up a little bit because I've been talking about almost 40 minutes. Then the second one, and the third one right there. So yeah. Then we have Robber's Lover, another cyberpunk film, which I didn't care that much about this one the first time I watched it, but then I have rewatched it since, and it's actually grown on me. Even though I do prefer 964 Pinocchio because it's very similar in tone to that. Let's see here. Then we have Tetsuo the Iron Man. I've seen this movie so many times, I still have no idea what's going on in this film, but it's sort of like the charm to this one as well. Yeah, I really like this film just because of how incredibly weird and strange it is, so yeah. And then I also have the second one right here, Tetsuo 2 Body Hammer, which is more of a real film. I know it's weird to say that, but yeah, still pretty good. Not as good as the first one, but still very fascinating. I have seen the third one as well, but I just did not like that one at all, so yeah. Then we have the Hungarian film called Taxidermia. Very interesting premise. It's sort of like a story about this guy, like these different type of storylines you could say, like shoved into one film, and yeah, it is very strange indeed. And then we have probably one of the most famous movies in this entire like section, Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, it's a good film, but it's basically about substance abuse in all honesty. So, but it's a very well put together film and all together. So yeah. And then we have this one, Story of Ricky, that I think I mentioned before, or Ricky O, which is also known as. Just really over the top splatter gore movie. This is more of comedic to me than actually messed up. So yeah. Then we have the very limited edition of the Gateway Meat. Very low budget, but still has its charm. So yeah, whatever. This one really blew me away. I thought this was really good. In a glass cage. Really liked the cinematography and the music to this one. Really, really, really atmospheric. So yeah, if you haven't seen this one, you go check it out. It is messed up, but it's one of the better ones among these like disturbing movies I've seen in recent years. So yeah. Then we have the other one that I was talking about before when I talked about juvenile crime and Concrete and whatever. This one, which I have made a review of before, Concrete Encased High School Girl Murder Case. Terrible title, but yeah, Junko Furuta case basically. So yeah. And then we have the Swedish movie called A Hole in My Heart. I've tried to like this film, but I just can't get myself to like this one. It's just annoying and really frustrating to watch, in all honesty. So yeah. And we have the movie called, oh, I can't even say that. It's a terrible film. Don't watch it. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna have to censor that, but Schramm by Jörg Buttgereit, probably one of his best films. But I still say that Der Todesking is the best one he's directed, which appears right here. Der Todesking, sort of like an anthology type of film, but very, very atmospheric. I really like the camera work in this one and the cinematography. So yeah, definitely his best film to date, in my personal opinion. Let's continue with Red Room, directed by the same guy who made Musani, I believe. But yeah, really messed up film, really cool. It is good for what it is. And then the second one, which I didn't like as much, but yeah, lots of Japanese movies I've come to realize in this video. Then we have this one, which is next to impossible to get a hold of these days. I was so lucky to get a hold of this one. I've seen this one a couple of times, and I still don't know what it's all about. But it's very fascinating, and it has grown on me. The first time I watched it, I just didn't like it at all. So if you have seen this one once, try to watch it again, and you might appreciate it a little bit more. So yeah, Begotten. And then we have Island of Death, which I have yet to watch, by Nico Mastorakis, I believe. I think it is Nico Mastorakis, but I'm not totally sure. Then we have this one, which I haven't seen yet either, Singapore Sling. I believe this is a Greek film. Then we have this one. I have absolutely no idea what this is all about, but I just bought it because of the title. 15 Things You're Not Supposed to See. Yeah, don't know what that is all about. I have to find out eventually. Then we have these two. This is like a double pack. Human Centipede 1 and Human Centipede 2. First one plays out like a regular type of horror film, in all honesty. The second one is just very, very wild and the most disturbing out of all the 3 Human Centipede films. So, yeah. And then obviously we have the third one. This is just a complete joke to me. Very comedic and really dark humor. And I just felt like this didn't work for me at all. So, yeah. And then we have the infamous Serbian film. This has been so overhyped. I mean, obviously, I know what's happening in the film is just really, really disturbing. But come on, there's more disturbing movies out there that I've already talked about in this video. So yeah. Then we have Shogun's Sadism, which I think was part of that. About like another movie series, if you know. I mean, I think I know what series it is, but I just keep. I just forgotten about the movie title altogether, and I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. Then we have Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé or Gaspar Noé. I'm not really sure how you pronounce his name. The same guy who directed Irreversible. Yeah, I've yet to watch that one. And then we have the original I Spit in Your Grave. I prefer this one over the remake because this feels more values because of how great it looks and like the whole like VHS aesthetic of this like transfer as well. So I really appreciate that when they keep that. But yeah, the original I Spit in Your Grave. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, this is actually Demi Moore, who is obviously not in the film, but she was on the front cover. Then we have the Saw collection, which is not even like complete anymore because they've released more films since this, but Saw 1 to 7 in this one. The most tame out of all of these movies I've showed so far, I believe. So, yeah, Saw collection. And then we have this one, Steelbook edition of Saw 2. This one was actually signed to me by Tobin Bell for Arvid from his friend Tobin Bell, aka Jigsaw. Yeah, that was really cool to meet him in person and chat a little bit. So, yeah. Then we continue with the next one, Primutos, Lord of the Living Dead. This is by Olaf Ittenbach. I like this film, but I mean, it's a little bit too much for me. I mean, not the fact that it's like disturbing or anything like that, but it's just like, after a while, I kind of get bored about it. So, yeah. Then we have this other movie called The Burning Moon. I think this one is a little bit better than Primutos in all honesty, but yeah, I like the front cover on that one as well. And then we have, I think this was his debut film, Black Past or Black Past, however you want to pronounce it, but also pretty good. Really low budget though. Then we have probably the most mainstream movie yet, Deliverance. This is actually a really, really, really good film. But, I mean, it's very tame in comparison to these other movies. But, I mean, generally, if you haven't seen this movie and you're a movie buff, go check this one out, definitely. Really, really entertaining. And really tense as well. Then we have Ruggero Deodato's movie called House on the Edge of the Park, which is kind of like a Lost House on the Left type of deal. Now when I come think of it, I don't think Lost House on the Left is included in this disturbing movie list for some reason, but I have that movie as well. This one also has David Hess in it. And yeah, he plays a scumbag, you guessed it. Then we have some toe tag stuff coming up right here. Let's see here if I can do that without failing. Maskhead, which is one of the ones which I have yet to watch. I've always really liked that cover art. And then we have Sella Tercia, which I think is probably his Fred Vogel's best film to date, in all honesty. So yeah. Then we have another one which I have yet to watch, The Red Sin Tower. Yep. And then we have Murder Collection Volume 1. I think this one was really bad. You know, I didn't like this one at all. I have to be honest. And then, let's see here. We have the trilogy of movies, August Underground. Kind of like a Blair Witch type of movie, but with lots and lots of violence in it. And really messed up things and all in general. So yeah, August Underground. And then we have the second one, August Underground's Boredom. I believe this one is the most infamous one. I'm not really sure why, because all of them are really nasty, in all honesty. Then we have Penance. Oh, you can barely see that. The glare on this one is just terrible. Yeah, Penance. August Underground's Penance. And then we have this one, which you can't even see the title of either. I Never Left the White Room. I'm not sure if you can see that on the spine either. Oh, it's just terrible. This is a really weird experimental film about by the guy who is, I think he worked on the special effects on Mordom and all those other films. So yeah, I Never Left the White Room. Then we have this one, Dead Girl. Pretty good film. If I don't talk too much anymore, it's because I've been talking for such a long time now. So yeah. Then we have this one, Pig. Very obscure, like low budget, like short film. And I believe this one is another one which is like limited to only 2,000 copies. So this is not very easy to come across these days. And I was just really lucky to find it for a really good price. Then we have this one, Eden Lake. Really, really good film. Not as disturbing as some of these other movies. This is a movie that is, yeah, it really leaves you really empty. And that's all I'm going to say. It's just such a sad ending. I was going to say that. Then we have Living Hell. I've seen this one once. I didn't care too much for it, in all honesty. It is what it is. Another one of those weird Japanese movies. Then we have this one called Meat Grinder. Pretty good one. And then we have this one, Gods of a Beauty, which I think is part 1 or 2 in this series by Gaira, I think his name is, Gaira Kazuo Komisu. Yeah, I didn't like this one, I have to be honest. And then we have Eraserhead, which is really fascinating. Yeah, if you like David Lynch, check it out. And then we have another movie called Penance. But this one is from 2009 with Michael Rooker and Tony Todd. Sorry, there's my hiccups right there. And then we have another version of Reise nach Agathis, which is Voyage to Agathis. This one also includes Debris Documentar, which is still to this day one of the most messed up movies that I've ever seen. So yeah, you've been warned. And then we have this box set right here, The World of Marion Dora, which includes Melancholy Triangle, which I think that one is probably tied with Debris Documentar and The Blight of Humanity as the most disturbing movies I've ever seen. And this one also includes like lots of shorts and stuff. Not sure if you can see that. It doesn't say what the shorts is all about, but yeah, the shorts are also really creepy and really disturbing. So yeah. Oh, damn. Then we have this one, Revisiting Melancholy Triangle, which is sort of like a documentary about the where Marion Dora basically goes back to where he shot Melancholy Triangle. This was made by a Swedish guy who kindly enough sent this to me personally. I mean, obviously I paid for it, so I didn't rip him off or anything. But yeah, it's just really not creepy, but it's really like fascinating as to how he came in contact with Marion Dora, because he pretty much says this in the documentary that he's next to impossible to get a hold of, because I don't think he has an email or phone number or anything. So, or no social media either. So yeah, Revisiting Melancholy Triangle. And finally, we're at the last stack of movies right here, and we begin this stack of movies with Irreversible. Not as disturbing as many people make it out to be, but still really, I mean, it's the premise itself is what is the most fascinating. It pretty much plays out as like a backwards type of deal. So it basically like starts with the end credits and then it moves on eventually towards the end. Yeah, but it's still a good film. So yeah, I don't really like the dialogue very much in that movie, to be fair. So yeah. Then we have this one, Blood Pigs, directed by Brian Polan. I have yet to get a hold of his movie called Fetus, so I think that's the last one I need to get a hold of. And this one is actually signed by him. Eat the Dead, Brian Polan. This one was really cool, and what is really cool also is that this thing that's happening here on the front cover is actually happening in the film. So he's just really amazing when it comes to like these practical effects. They look really, really good for low budget movies, or like his low budget movies in general. And then we have the movie called 7 Days. sort of like a revenge tale, you could say. Really, really good. And then we have this one. First, we have this one though. I'm gonna show both of these. Murder Set Pieces. It says the director's cut, but I think that's a lie. So I think this is actually like a cut version in a way. So that was really unfortunate. So I decided to pick up this one, which I think is the fully uncut edition. Can be totally wrong about that, I'm not really sure, but yeah, Murder Set Pieces. But to be fair, it's not a very good film, I have to be honest. Then we have Antichrist by Lars von Trier. I've seen this one before, and yeah, it's fascinating. It's more like an experimental artsy type of film. And then we have the shot on video movies by Andreas Schnaas, the Violent Shit trilogy. There was also like a newer one, which was like sort of like a remake, like an Italian remake of this, I believe. So I've not seen any of these like Violent Shit movies. So if you've seen any of these movies, please let me know. And this one is also like, this is just crazy. If you look at the back of this DVD, limited to 25 copies. Isn't that insane? Then we have Snowtown. This is such a messed up film. It's just really frustrating as well if you know what really went on with this story, because this is based on a true story. I hated some of these characters in this film, but then again, you are meant to hate them. So yeah, Snowtown. And then we have this one, Hate Crime. I'm not going to say anything about this one, because if I do that, I'll get flagged. But yeah, Hate Crime. It's decent for what it is. It's very low budget though. Then we have this one, The Bunny Game. This one is really annoying. This is, I mean, there's some like disturbing things going on in this film, but I found it more annoying than disturbing because of all this screaming and shouting throughout like most of the film. Yeah, not recommended at all. Then we have Pink Flamingos by none other than John Waters. This is a film that I'm very torn between if I actually do like it or not. It's just a weird experience altogether. There's some really hilarious dialogue in it just because of how bad the acting is. But yeah, if you do like trashy movies and you like John Waters, give it a go. But yeah, it's pretty disgusting. And the very last movie for this video is going to be Nikos the Impaler, which is sort of like the unofficial sequel to the Violent Shit trilogy, like part 4, if you will. This one also has Phyllis Saros in it, and I believe Lloyd Kaufman as well, if you can see him right there, I believe. This one I've actually seen, but then again, I had no idea about the Violent Shit movies before I watched this movie. It's more silly, definitely not very like disturbing, anything like that. This is more like a fun little splatter movie, if you ask me. So, also limited edition. Let's see how many copies they made of this. They don't say that on the back, so I'm not really sure how many copies they made. But yeah, Nikos the Impaler. So there you have it. I've been talking for almost 1 hour now. I'm probably missing out on a few movies here and there that I could have included. Like I said, Lost House on the Left was not included in this section of the video, which I could have included, but it's like in another shelf and I was just too lazy to pick it out from there. And it's also been really difficult to make this video with just the iPad while like doing it. It's just been really, really tough. So you'll have to deal with this one, or like this video. If you like this movie, not this movie, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you like my content. Next video, I'm not really sure, it's probably going to be like another update video, maybe like a horror review. Who knows what's going to happen, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed this particular video, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.